Excel 2016 Module 3, pages 171 through 174. Looking at the top of page 171, you need to read about using lookup functions. To say that VLOOKUPs have been, for my students, very difficult, the bane of their existence in this class would be an understatement. So, fair warning, you need to read about VLOOKUPs and HLOOKUPs. We're going to be using VLOOKUPs in this one. V stands for vertical, H for horizontal, but you're going to know that because you're going to read all this. Super important, and you're going to have to be able to read a VLOOKUP formula and explain what each portion of it means. So make sure that you read all of 171 and the top of page 172, and don't even think about going on until you've read all of that. All right, on page 172. To use the VLOOKUP function to find yield information for the hybrid CS6478. All right, in cell B15. All right, so we're on B, and here's B15, corn hybrid. I am just so thrilled that we're learning about this corn stuff. So we are going to enter CS6478 and click your enter key. All right, in cell B16, at this time I want you to slow down and I want you to make sure that you do exactly everything correctly. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to make sure that I am in B16, which I am. We're going to go up to our insert function button right here. We are going to go to or select a category right here, and we're going to hit this down pointing arrow. And we're going to select lookup and reference because we're going to be working with a lookup. We're going to scroll down because these are in alphabetical order to the V's. And we are going to double click VLOOKUP, which is going to open up our function arguments dialog box for a VLOOKUP. We start with our lookup value box. Okay? In the lookup value box, we need the absolute value of B15. And they want us to type it in. That's fine this time. Absolute value B, absolute value 15. You know I'm not usually crazy about typing, but every once in a while it is good to practice something like that. And that's the absolute value of B15. Press your tab key, and that's going to take you to your table array box. Okay? All right, we're going to select our table array, which is N20 through O. Is that O or Q? I think it's O27. I'll check and make sure when we go to do it. So remember that anytime this box is blocking you, you just grab it in its title bar and give it a good shove. Don't tolerate it bugging you. So we need N20, which I can't see. I need to scroll down. And it looks like I need to go across a little bit. And it looks like that is a Q27. So we are going to go from N20 through Q27. And I can't point to it because I'd have to let go of my mouse, but if you look up at my functions argument box, you're going to see N20 through Q27. And go ahead and let go of your mouse. Check it right here. If it's wrong, no big deal. You just back that right out of there and you try again. Okay? So basically, we've done our first two, right? So we have lookup value. We have table array. Now let's go do our column index number. And our column index number is just the number 2. Just type a 2 and press your tab key. You can also click tab or click either one. In our range lookup, we're going to type in false. This is not case sensitive, by the way, if you notice that. Case doesn't matter. As you can see, I typed that in all lowercase and it's going to show up in all uppercase, which is fine. So a quick walk through our function argument dialog box for our VLOOKUP. Look up the value, absolute value B15. Our table array is N20 through Q27. Our column index number is 2, and our range lookup reads false. Correct? Go ahead and hit OK. And you're probably going to have to scroll across a little bit. You can see it gave us very good. Very good is listed in the second column of our table, because remember we selected this table, column 1, column 2. Okay, so it returned very Good. And so what it did is we said, go find this number in this table, and when you find this number, give me what's in column number 2. So it said, this number, look for it. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? And it's going to scroll down. It's going to find it. As soon as it finds it, it stops. And it says, give me what was in column number 2. Well, what's in column number 2? Very good is in column number 2. So that's what it returned. Okay? Again, let's take a look at this. Equals VLOOKUP, the absolute value of B15. So go look up this number. Where do I look it up? Well, go look it up in this table right here, which we chose over here. Well, when I get to this table and I find, let's go start looking in column 1, and I find this number right here, what do? You give me what's return, what's in column 2. What's in column 2? Very good. Okay? So you need to be able to read that, and all false means is it has to be an exact match. Okay? So give me the VLOOKUP. Go find whatever is in this cell right here. What's in that cell? Well, it just happens to be CS6478. Well, where do I find it? Go look in the table N20 through Q27. When I find it, what do? I go to column 2 and I return whatever's in column 2, but it has to be an exact match. Okay? Clear as mud? That's okay. You'll get to practice it a couple of times. So, again, if you didn't understand it, then what you want to do is you want to click on this cell, and you want to delete your formula, and you want to try that over, and you want to do it a couple of times until you actually understand what you're doing, because working with VLOOKUPs, it is not good enough to just click buttons. You really need to be able to understand it, because we will be using VLOOKUPs again, and they're going to expect you to learn it in this chapter, so therefore farther on down the road, they're not going to have a really detailed explanation, because they're going to assume that you learned it in Mod 3. Okay, go ahead and hit save if you haven't already, because you certainly don't want to lose that. And on the bottom of page 173, to display other information about the hybrid, click cell B16. Okay. Now drag the fill handle to cover the range B16 through B18. So basically, I don't want to write this whole VLOOKUP again. Okay, I'm only going to do it once. But I don't want yield. And come over here and look at this really quick. We also have height and maturity, right? Column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4. We told us to look for yield in column 2. We will look for height in column 3, and we will look for our maturity, our GDD, in column 4. Okay? So you did that, right? So go ahead and turn the page. Now, double-click column B17. Okay, and that's going to open up your VLOOKUP. And all we're going to change is the column right there where it says 2. Change it to a 3 and press your Enter key. Okay, and we're going to scroll over here so you understand what you just did. We said go look up whatever we told you was in B15. Okay, and then give me what's in column 3. And what's in column 3 is the word medium. Okay, now let's go to maturity, double click it, and guess what? Change that 2 to a 4. Press your Enter key. Now it says, utilizing whatever's in B15, go to the table N22, and then find me what's in column, this table right here, and then find me what is in column 4. Okay, and if we go over there and we look, we're going to see what's in column 4. Okay, and it's this number that it returns, which is right there. Okay, 2795. Do you see it? Okay, so right here, we told it to look in column 2 of our table that we defined. Then we told it to go to column 3 of our table. Then we told it to go to column 4, and it returns that different information. Again, if you don't understand that, go ahead and delete these formulas and try it again and just do that portion over until you get it. Okay? All right, go ahead and hit your save because you're ready to move on to the next video.